Hey guys, today we will solve a most common problem which is finding duplicates in a string. We will solve this problem with three different approaches. The first approach will be comparing each character of a string to another character. The second approach will be using hash tables, and the third approach will be using bit operations. So let's proceed to the very first approach, which is comparing each character of the string with each another character of the string. So let's assume a string s, and let's assume the finding itself. The string s is finding, and we can actually see the I and n are repeating themselves twice. So how how will we tell our program to find whether the characters are repeating themselves or not? So to elaborate this approach, we let me represent this problem with array representation: f I n d I n g and a null character also at the end. And we can now clearly see that the things are with indices. So at index 0, zeroth index, the character is f. So s of 0 is f. Okay, so I'm sorry. So how can we find whether the things are characters are repeating themselves or not? With the brute force approach, we will compare each of the character to another characters present in the string. So the approach is keep a pointer I to the first index and j to the index next to it. So and in each iteration move j forwards while j is not equal to last index, that is not equal to null string. And at the each iteration compare the index the element at index j with the element at index I. If the iteration is done completely, of the iteration j is done completely and there are no duplicates found, then increment I to the next index. So at the next iteration I will be become here and j will be here. Let me erase this from here, and I will be at index first and j will be at index second, and the things will repeat again. J will increment, j will be moving towards all the another indexes while it reaches to the null character. And in each iteration the element at jth index will be compared to element at ith index, and likewise the things will be repeated while I reaches the last index here. Okay, so let me elaborate this with after clearing these things. The string s is finding, and as we discussed, I is at here and j is here, and we are comparing f of I to f of j, whether they are equal or not. So f of I at very first will be f and f of j will be I. So they are not equal, and now j plus plus j will be incremented to the next index. Now f will be compared to n, so they are not equal. Now j will again move to the next index. Now f will be compared to d, they are not equal. Now again j will move to the next index, f will be compared to I, they are not equal again. And similarly j will reach to the next while it reaches to the null character size 0. Okay, and after that the I plus plus will come to effect, and I will be now pointing to index first. Now element at index I will be I itself. So I will be pointing here and the element is I. So now j will be I plus 1, which is index 2. So the element at index 2 is n. So is I equal to n? No. So j plus plus will take place. Now j was here and now it will come to d. So now I will be compared to d. Are they equal? No. Now j plus plus will take place again, and now I will be compared to I. Yeah, it is true. I is equal to I. So here the match came true. S of I became equal to S of J. So there are, yeah, we found the duplicate of a character. There are duplicates present of a character in this string. So at this point of time, our program will return true or something like, yeah, print like, yeah, there are duplicates in a string. Or we can also count how many duplicates of a string are there. And we will discuss these things in further. So let's say patience and discuss in more detail. Let me clear it out first. And with our pseudocode I will be discussing it again. Let me keep the string here also. Finding. This was the problem string s, and the program for I equal to 0th index I will be starting from here. I s of I not equal to what, slash 0, and I plus plus. I will be incrementing while it reaches to the last index. Okay, and inside it, uh, another loop will start as j equal to I plus 1. J, if I is starting from here, j will be starting at the very next index. So j equal to I plus 1, j s of j. I am sorry, let me clear it. S of j is not equal to slash 0, j plus plus. Okay, now this statement says while you are not equal to the slash 0, the very last string, you have to just move to the next index. If you are at first index, go to the second index, and likewise go to second, third, and fourth up to the condition is true. Okay, this is not looking good. Let me write it clearly. Not equal to slash 0 and j plus plus, and inside it there will be a condition. The condition will be like if s of I equal to s of j, the thing that we discussed earlier, then just return true. And at the very last, at this indentation, we will have return false. The this will let me change the color. This will run only if this loop has been completed. This loop has been completed, and the program has returned to this line. And at this point of time, it is clear that there are no duplicates right now. If there will be duplicates earlier, it will be returned already. The function will leave this code. Okay. So at the last, it will return false. So this is the approach. We can say the worst approach, and we can clearly see that this is taking n time, and this is again taking n time, and as they are nested loop, the worst time complexity we are getting is order of n square. So the upcoming approaches are even better than that. Like we will discuss for uh, hash tables and bit manipulations to solve this problem. So for now, that's it, and let's discuss those problems in the next video. Thank you very much.